Hey guys, back today on the golf cart. I got some parts. A buddy of mine come over and helped me get the body off of it. And now I'm going to start disassembling everything, motor wise, wiring wise, and get everything out of the way so I can start doing the rear bags and prepping for the motor swap. Still haven't bought the motor or any of that stuff, but we'll get to that. It may be a little while. I've got to pay some stuff coming up and taxes and all that stuff. So once I get extra money, we'll buy the Predator for it and all the stuff. But let's get started on taking this thing apart. All right, so we got the motor out of it, and almost all the wiring. I just got to get what's up underneath that went to the ignition. And here's what we got. See a little bit of oil leak there from the tank. I cut that hose because I couldn't get it off. But yeah, so the plan is I bought an engine plate, and I think that engine plate will mount right on top of that, no problem. And hopefully we got enough room to put the new motor and the forward reverse, and I can just use this rear end if I can find something that'll bolt to it. Now for this thing to lay completely out on bags, I'm going to have to trim this beam or this bar right here to make room for that rear end. Otherwise it may bust it. But otherwise we made pretty good progress. I did see some rust spots over by the battery tray, which is not an uncommon thing on these at all, that I'll have to address. No big deal there. But otherwise this thing is pretty solid, and on the next video it'll probably be me taking the rest of the shocks out of the rear and the rear plate, this plate off, so I can get in there to weld in the mounts for the new bags. I do have the new bags, and I've got to get a couple other things. I still got to get alternator and the motor and all that stuff, but we'll get that after. I want to do the air ride first and get that set up. That way I know how I need to mount my motor and run my exhaust and all that stuff. I know that sounds backwards, but I think that'll be the best route. I still got to take the gas tank off. It's full, so I'm going to have to take it off and empty it. I don't think that I need the oil reservoir, even though it looks like it somehow runs into the rear diff. I mean, I guess that's just an overflow for it. That's kind of strange. But I think I've got plenty of room to mount an actual alternator, and I may have to do a little bit of rigging on it to get it to work right, but we'll get to that later. I got plenty of room to mount my air tank. I bought a fuse box for it already. I've got a couple things already going for it. So, like I said, got to do a couple things. I got to buy a new gas pedal cable. The cable, the link, it's messed up. So, which I knew that when I first got it. The cable is like frozen inside the cable sheet, whatever you want to call it. So got to get one of them, and I am going to have to probably order new brakes for it, and maybe a new brake cable, or two brake cables, because those don't look too great. They don't look bad up front, but back towards the back on the wheel, they kind of look rough. Now, you got to remember this thing is like a 1978 or 80, so it's over 40 years old. So, yeah. So, strange way that this thing was set up. The fuel pump is actually mounted to the rear end. Not crazy about that. I probably won't leave it there. We'll probably move it to maybe the side over here on this, or somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see. It's just going to be trial and error. Like I said, I did build another one. I built my Yamaha G1, and of course I lifted it, and I bought the kit to lift it, and I done a lot of fab work. But this one we're going low with, so it's even more fab work, because you're basically making something for it that isn't meant to be. So it'll be interesting. I do have the front bag done on that one. I still got to do this side, and I'll probably do that front bag next and get it out of the way, and then I'll probably focus on the rear. I've got to change my mount that I made on the bottom of that bag. I don't like it, so I'm going to cut it back off and I'm going to redo it. But yeah, that's the progress so far on the G1. I get some more parts in, and we'll start tackling it and going and doing it as I get parts. I would like to get most of the frame cleaned up, so I'll probably go over it with a flapper and a wire brush and get most of the rust off of it, and probably repaint it just to keep, the rust. But yeah, so I guess that's it. So like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys.